Hello, and welcome back to another summary. As you can see on the board here, not much is really going on in this little section, but I figured, just get it out there. And for this one, I actually have a script. Hopefully, I'm not looking at it too much, but we'll see how this makes editing. This next week, Mr. Numbers and Mr. Transport come up with a project and pitch it to Dean Blaine so they can have the Melbrook students work together. In the next Ethics of Heroism class, Dean Blaine announces a group project where they will be paired off and have to write a 20-page essay and give a presentation in front of the class on the life of a super. I don't know if that's just college stuff or if that's HCP stuff, but 20 pages? I don't think I've ever wrote 20 pages in my life. It's supposed to teach them what kind of decisions that they made in the field and the ramifications that they dealt with because of that, and the hard choices that you make as a hero. They are also told to start thinking about what they would do in a situation like that, because one day some of them will be in a situation like that, where every decision they make could mean life or death for someone else. And this is explored more in later classes, in like year 4 and stuff. I like that they are telling them now that things will get rough and things will be difficult, because that's the truth, and there's no point shying away from that. The sooner you tell someone, the sooner they can accept that this is not for them and drop out. They're not trying to make people drop out per se, but they don't want people who aren't ready or aren't willing to do what needs to be done. But that's a conversation for another day. Yeah. They're paired into teams. Dean Blaine starts pairing them off. Nick is paired with Alice, which neither of them are happy about. Vince gets paired with a boy named Will, and Herschel gets partnered with a boy named Alex. And we don't see who Mary gets teamed up with, because she's not really in this section. But this is also where we are able to expand the cast a bit more to include Alex and Will. And unlike the other people that we've met, Chad, Shane, Michael, Julia, these people are actually, friendly. And that's cool. The first pair is Vince and Will. They get along well enough and start working on their project. Vince and Will get along well enough and start working on their project. Herschel and Alex immediately get along, and they bond over their shared love of comic books, video games, movies, just all the nerd stuff. It's really cool to see. And Alex claims that his power is being a Jedi. Not like a telepath or telekinetic. He is a Jedi who uses the Force. Like he explains, if he tries to move stuff with his mind, then nothing happens. But if he thinks about it in terms of the Force, he can juggle golf carts. We get more into his power later on, but it's really cool how it works. The final pair that we see is Alice and Nick, and boy are they having fun. They're bickering about who to choose for their project. Alice wants to pick a good one and make a great project, whereas Nick wants to fly under the radar and do a perfectly okay project. Nick keeps shooting down everything Alice says, even if it is a good one. He wants to see how long it'll take Alice to give in. She finally does, so Nick decides since they can't choose one, they'll flip a coin, and whatever the penny lands on is the one they choose. So he flips it, and as it's in the air, he puts all of his luck into the best outcome. And this is probably one of the first times we actually see him use his powers. Because one thing about Nick is that he doesn't use his power really ever. So when he actually does use his power, it's pretty rare. But this is one of those times. It's so interesting to see the ripple effects that this has across the rest of the series. He put all of his luck into the best outcome, and the best outcome was not what they were expecting, but that'll be revealed later. This also starts the motif of Alice and Nick bickering at each other constantly. Also, I'm not sure if it's a motif or trope. They both seem too abstract, So if you could leave a comment on what the right terminology is, I can't seem to find it. Like Mary and Mr. Numbers chess game or Alice and Nick bickering all the time. It's something that happens like regularly, just in general. I wouldn't call it a plot point. If someone could let me know if motif or trope is the right word for that. I want to, be accurate about these things. But then we cut to Vince and Will studying in the HCP library when Will suddenly has to go because his sister is going to be in a ranking match. Vince and Will get talking, and Will explains that he is a tech genius. Think like Forge from the X-Men. Like, he's incredibly smart, and it allows him to build stuff that is leaps and bounds ahead of where they are now. Which, by the way, this takes place in, I think, mid-2000s, because when Alex was describing his powers, he said he was a Jedi like the original Star Wars, not like the prequels. So it's after the prequels, but they still have flip phones because it's mentioned later on that cameras on phones are somewhat new now. It doesn't really affect anything. The book is still pretty timeless. I just think it's interesting. As far as his inventions, Vince says that he really likes his self-writing pen. So we know that's at least one thing he's built. Another thing he builds is suits for his sister, Jill, who can control technology. She can do stuff like, type without touching the keyboard or drive her car around a block with no one in it. She can mentally command technology. So he builds her suits that, she can use in combat, which I think is really cool. I like the sibling dynamic between them, Will and Jill Murray. But we learn who Jill is fighting, and she is fighting Sasha. Sasha was the one who initiated the combat ranking match. She wants to go up so she can be in the combat class. Vince and Will are pretty chill and amiable, so they obviously, decide to not let whoever wins or loses affect, them, because they're fighters, and it'd be stupid to hold a grudge in a school all about fighting and getting better, which I like that. I like that it's respectable to fight, and you're not going to stay mad at someone. I mean, who would stay mad at someone if they lost a fight, or even if they won a fight? Gee, I wonder. Some bald guy comes to mind. But that'll come up later. So we see Sasha and Jill in a combat cell ready to fight. Vince sees Sasha and is shook to see her so serious because he's used to just seeing her just happy and sarcastic and just going with the flow. But she is locked the fuck in right now. She wants to win. And so does Jill. They spectate the fight along with a freshman healer who seems surprised when Will asks Vince if Sasha is his girlfriend. They don't notice her. I'm sure that'll never come up. But he says, yeah, I guess we're dating. The fight is relatively quick, so I'm not really going to read it out to you like I did with Chad and Roy. Sasha is darting in and out, trying to test Jill's defenses. She's fast, but not fast enough. So when she decides she knows what to do and when to strike, she rushes in. She's able to hit Jill about 5 times before she gets flung across the room. Vince, notably, is pretty worried. And that's something we'll see reoccur with him, is that he's very protective, but that's better saved for later when it's more relevant. Turns out, Jill knew she wouldn't be fast enough to react, so she put every ounce of power into her suit, so when Sasha punched her, it just electrocuted the shit out of her. Sasha did get in some good blows, though, because Jill could feel her ribs crack. With Sasha on the floor, the count got down to 3 when she started crawling her way up the wall, and she looked pretty pissed. Jill rightly surrendered, knowing that was her one shot. One thing I like a lot in this series is how speed is portrayed, and how Sasha describes it as it's proportional to how fast you're going. It's like running while trying to throw a punch. Yeah, you can do it, but you're not going to be accurate. You have to slow down to be accurate. And I think that mitigates a lot of the imbalances between speedsters and other heroes in media, or like villains or whatever. Because normally a speedster is just fast and they can do everything at super speed, so they just shouldn't be able to lose a fight. CW Flash. But with Sasha, it makes sense because if she wants to be accurate whatsoever, then she has to slow down, still fast, like in the fight, she was able to punch Jill 5 times before she could really even react. So she doesn't have to slow down to human speeds, she's still incredibly fast. It's not like she can do precise coordinated stuff like attack while at full speed. I think more series should absolutely implement that because it just kind of makes sense. You're running. So of course you'd be inaccurate the faster you're going, even with super speed. I don't know, I just think that's a really like cool way to do it. And we see her fight later, so we see more of what it's like, but that'll come quite a bit later when we see more of her fights. But yeah, this was a relatively short section. I had a script this time. I didn't. It didn't really work. I need to get better at talking off a script while still looking at the camera because the second I look away, I just forget everything I just read, even if I say it to myself. If this helps me with editing, that'll be cool. And the next one will be longer. We're getting into Halloween, which is going to be really fun. I just want to say thank you. I've been getting a lot of nice messages on the r/superpowered subreddit, which is where I post my videos to actually get views, or else no one would watch this. I know there are people watching, and I thank you so much for that. It's really cool to be doing something and people appreciate it. Even if no one saw these, I would still do it. But the reason I do these is so people can watch them. So people can see that their favorite series or one of their favorite series is, being represented. And I'm happy to do it. It's really fun. So the next one should be longer. I'm not sure how long this one's going to be. Yeah, I think I'm gonna try for maybe all of Halloween next time. I'm not sure how long it is. I'll have to double check. But yeah, this was okay as far as length goes. It wasn't too bad. So that's pretty cool. This is really fun, and I can't wait to keep this going because once I'm done with all these books, I want to make an essay and just deep dive into everything the way I can't with a summary, but I'm definitely going to do these summaries first. And I'm going to hopefully keep up this pace. I think this is a good pace to do it. A little section, a couple paragraphs, read it as best I can. I'm not sure what I'll talk about after this series is done. Definitely Corpies, because, Corpies ties into this. And the reviews are definitely going to have to be longer the more it goes on, because, it's more intricate, which I'm hoping I'll be able to capture, honestly, because it's hard to capture all of it with a summary like this, with all the little nuances that are in this book, because it's built so well. Like the world is built really well and things connect really well. I just hope I can do it justice. Thank you so much and have a great day.
Okay, quick update here. I'm just trying to edit this video down, and I'm like, oh, I got a comment about like putting some art in my videos to like break it up. And I'm like, yeah, I'll do that. There's not a lot of superpowers fan art, but you know, like I'll look and see what I have, and there's some good ones of like the main five, but I'm trying to get like other ones. I don't know if I'll put it in the video yet. I have a really funny one of Sasha where it's just wild style from the Lego movie, because that's how I picture Sasha with that like smirk in my hair. I colored it in a Krita to make it like pink streaks, and I cut off the little top part. Um, and I have some other funny ones. I'm probably honestly not going to include them because uh, I don't know. I might. I'm just rambling, but I'm running into a brick fucking wall with Jill because all the characters are described pretty vaguely. Will is just short, wiry, brown hair with glasses. Okay, that's cool. That's generic. And then Jill is medium, like medium height, chopped, dirty blonde hair. That's it. And even more specific is when she fights with Sasha, it says she looks like she's in a flight suit with some baubles and wires. I'm like, okay, I'll try and look for something like that because I'm trying to find like cartoon characters or movie characters like young Obi-Wan Kenobi for Alex, or also say with Alex, he's just kind of normal looking. Um, or picture of what the fuck's his name? the the main character from Meet the Robinsons, you know, the little kid. I thought that was funny. And Rocky for from Rocky Horror Picture Show for Chad, stuff like that. Which I'm like, it's really funny. But the thing is, I can't find anything for Joe. And I swear to God, dude. I swear to God. I look up a girl with flight suit or like characters with flight suit or something, something, something. And it is nothing but AI dog shit. And it pisses me off. Because there is some fan art. There's approximately one fan art of Jill and Will. And I don't know, not really my style. I'm not saying it's like bad or anything. It's not how I picture the characters. Which is, stupid because the entire point of fan art is you can make them however you want, stuff like that. I'm kind of dumb in the fact that I like things to be very accurate, very book accurate. So I'm like, oh well, no, that doesn't like line up. It's like it's not gonna fucking line up. But that's something I guess I have to get over. Uh, Also, it's really small since it's like a full page of like everyone's headshots. If I just try to zoom on Will and Jill, it's like super fucking blurry. So honestly, I'm probably just not gonna put uh, either Jill's or all of them in here. I might just put this at the end, or maybe at the beginning. But I am so tired of this AI fucking shit, dude. It's atrocious, and I hate looking at it, and I hate that it's just everywhere. Thankfully, it hasn't really affected, the superpowers fan art. Um, and I don't know. I don't really want to use fan art from other like fandoms for this because like kind of defeats the whole purpose. Um, but yeah, so if I'm gonna have to just start drawing all the characters, yikes! I suck so bad at drawing. I've been trying. I was trying a while ago. I haven't drawn for a while. I have every art supply known to man, and I'm just like, well, but whatever. I guess that could get me to draw. I don't know. I just I want to have art in there, and I want cool fan art, but and I was thinking like funny PNGs like other YouTubers do sometimes, because they're funny. I think they work like Obi-Wan Kenobi for Alex, or uh, like Rocky for Chad. But that's the thing is I've only figured out those two. I can't. I'm not really figuring out more, and I'd either have to do all of them PNGs or none of them PNGs. I feel to make it like tonally consistent. So I think for this one, I'm not gonna do any PNGs. So I'll just take out the ones I have, which is like four. Um, but yeah, if that's the case, I'm gonna have to start drawing or like photoshopping, uh, doing something. But yeah, so that'll definitely add on time. I might have my wife draw some for me. She's pretty decent at drawing. Um, I don't know if you can see there, but she she drew my face. A little note that she left me, and I love it. But yeah, I'm so uncreative when it comes to all that that it's gonna take me so long. Even though I know it doesn't have to be good, it just has to be real and passionate. And I want to do that, but man, I just feel like I can't do it right or good. I'm gonna try, but I feel like it'll take me so long that I can't get the videos out. I don't know. This is already getting so fucking long. long story short, I'm sick and fucking tired of AI being in everything ever, especially art. I could go on a whole rant about it, but this is a superpowered summary, and I just wanted to let you know that's why there's no art, and that's why there might not be art for a bit. Um, I'll do what I can, I guess. If you would like some art, but if I can't find some or do some for certain characters, then don't put it in. Or if you would rather me just wait and do all of have every character have like art come up for them, or I don't know. But yeah, that's really the gist of it, and I just don't want it to take forever. This has already taken quite some time, and I'm maybe halfway through the first book, so we'll see. We will see, but yeah. Anyway, just had to go on that little rant, and well, I guess I get the characters are generic for a reason, because it's more about their personality. It's more about like what they do, and it helps cut down on descriptions. Literally, Sasha's described with pink streaks in her hair because Vince likes girls with colored hair. Other than that, I don't think it would be mentioned that often. Um, but yeah. Anyways, sorry for the long ass ramble. Uh, yeah, I'll figure it out. Thank you for watching, and if you have any art that you would like to um, make, I think that'd be really cool. Um, and of course, I'd credit. I'm gonna credit every art that I put in the thing. Put in the sorry. I'm gonna credit every art I put in the video because you know artists deserve credit. But anyways, yeah.